So today is Monday. I am Drishti. I welcome all of you. I hope जो पीछे हमने सेशंस कवर करे हैं उनके टॉपिक्स आपको क्लियर हैं. And today I'm back with a couple of very important topics that have happened, couple of news that have happened in the past week, and we are going to discuss those in detail along with a very interesting question of your Seize the Mains initiative, right? I hope all of you have joined in timely, right? Okay, let's start. So today's index, एक बार index देख लेते हैं. What all topics we are going to cover today? So we are going to cover cooperative federalism. Cooperative federalism, why? So recently PM Modi has been pushing for cooperative federalism, and ever since the whole structure of India has formed of states and center, we have been pushing for competitive but cooperative federalism. पूरा concept क्या है? We are going to discuss that in detail, right? Then we are going to discuss Smile 75 initiative. 75 यहाँ पे कहाँ से आया है? 75 has come from 75 years of independence. जो initiative चल रहा है आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव, from there we have derived 75. And Smile initiative, it's an abbreviation. It is basically for beggars and transgenders. Predominantly it focuses on beggars, but the destitute states of beggars that we are going to discuss. क्या क्या aspects हैं that we are going to cover. Then we are going to talk about Nidan portal. Nidan portal क्या है? It is basically about your narco drug addicts. उनका एक पूरा data analysis बनेगा. So there are a couple of reservations that are there. We are going to cover those. Also, we are going to discuss Criminal Procedure Identification Act 2022, which is going to repeal or amend or shift from a similar act which India has been following since the time of the Britishers, since 1920s. 1920s का जो act है उसको it will replace. So we are going to discuss that, right? I hope all these topics आपको एक basic overview मिल गया है. Now, as per our initiative, answer writing initiative, which we have started for you, what we are going to do is, we are going to give you a question. You can practice your mains answer writing. You can write answer on the given question, and the link to which is directly given in your description box. वहाँ से you can post it on your website. The question will be given to you. The question is common. Answers, whatever you write, will be evaluated by our team of experts, free of cost, entirely free of cost, and this will help you writing better answers, also identifying the areas where you need to improve, right? So आज का question is basically on cooperative federalism. क्या है देख लेते हैं. So your Seize the Mains question is, discuss the various hurdles to cooperative federalism in India. ठीक है. Here we are going to talk about basically 3 types of federalisms. क्या difference है, what all there are compositions, what are the differences, how the whole idea has evolved, सब कुछ discuss करेंगे. ठीक है. Now they have asked enumerate the possible solutions for the same, and so we have to give a recommendation or a way forward how it can be done. Also the word limit is 250 words. ठीक है. There are a couple of things मैं आपको अभी बता देती हूँ which will help you in answer writing. Also there must be a couple of more points जो आप add कर सकते हैं so that you have a better enriched answer. ठीक है. Let's get started. So as I told you, why this was in news? This was in news because recently Prime Minister Modi, he spoke about the need for healthy competition among the states. Competition among the states as in जो आपका competitive federalism है उसकी बात हो रही है. ठीक है. Now नीति आयोग was started. नीति आयोग was formed. नीति आयोग का जो फॉर्मेशन हुआ, हमने कौन सा कमीशन स्क्रैप करके बनाया था? Can you please mention it in chat box? नीति आयोग was formed in place of which organization? Government organization. Shreya, correct. Planning Commission. Right, Shreya? It was formed by scrapping Planning Commission. ठीक है. Yes, good. Planning Commission, yeah, very good. Okay, let's get ahead. Now, Niti Aayog as an institution, basically, इनका mandate क्या है? To promote cooperative federalism, competitive but cooperative federalism, where it has played a significant role basically in promoting healthy competition among states and union territories, and they release a ranking which states their levels on the basis of the indicators that have been achieved by them. ठीक है. Now फेडरलिज्म की बात करें इन इंडिया तो द फेडरलिज्म का मीनिंग क्या है? इट इज द वर्टिकल डिविजन ऑफ पावर. वर्टिकल डिविजन ऑफ पावर का मतलब क्या होता है? द पावर विच फ्लोज फ्रॉम सेंटर टूवर्ड स्टेट्स, ऑल्सो सेंट्रल अथॉरिटी का कितना होल्ड है, प्लस हाउ मच फ्रीडम स्टेट्स हैव बीन गिवन टू मैनेज देयर ओन अफेयर्स. ठीक है, इंटरफेरेंस बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है, बट इट इज सीन दैट जितनी भी पॉलिसीज हैं दे फॉलो द सेम सूट. There is no much deviation of the policies of one state from another state. ठीक है, तो मेजर जो आइडिया है सोशलिस्टिक वेलफेयर स्टेट का, दैट रिमेन्स सेम. नाउ इफ यू सी व्हाट आर द फीचर्स ऑफ द फेडरल सिस्टम, सो वी हैव मल्टीपल लेवल्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. ठीक है, ऑल द स्टेट्स हैव देयर रिस्पेक्टिव गवर्नमेंट, सबके इंडिपेंडेंट इलेक्शंस होते हैं. यूनियन टेरिटरीज आर रूल्ड बाय योर गवर्नर्स. ठीक है, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की रूलिंग होती है. देयर इज अ एम्पल segregated division of power not just among states but also amongst the three branches of government altogether. ठीक है, then there is a written constitution. written constitution rigidity provide करता है along with the flexibility to how to proceed further जैसे भी आपकी policies form हो रही हैं उसमें. also we have independent judiciary so that अगर if there is any sort of hampering in the basic structure doctrine, जो fundamental rights हैं आपकी, if there is any infringement upon them, or if judiciary sees that government is misusing the power they have, so there can be a watchdog on it which can stop government from doing such things. ठीक है, तो this has been taken in consideration. Now there are certain benchmarks. I have taken the snippet from द हिंदू. ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा आर्टिकल आया था उसमें. सो नाउ सेटिंग द बेंचमार्क्स की हम बात करें तो देयर आर सम ऑफ द इंडिसेस व्हिच आर कंटिन्यूअसली लॉन्च्ड बाय नीति आयोग टू प्रमोट आपका कॉम्पिटिटिव फेडरलिज्म. कॉम्पिटिटिव फेडरलिज्म प्रमोट करने के लिए कौन कौन से हैं? देयर इज स्कूल एजुकेशन क्वालिटी इंडेक्स, देन देयर इज स्टेट हेल्थ इंडेक्स, सिमिलरली देयर इज कॉम्पोजिट वाटर मैनेजमेंट इंडेक्स, देन देयर इज सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स इंडेक्स, इंडिया इनोवेशन इंडेक्स, एक्सपोर्ट कॉम्पिटिटिव इंडेक्स. नाउ इंडिया इनोवेशन इंडेक्स की बात करें तो here we have rankings of 3 years 2019, 2020, 2021. On first position stood Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and then Maharashtra. Then on second year of it, first stage was taken by Karnataka, then Maharashtra and then Tamil Nadu. आप देखो यही वाली states का जो position है that got interchanged. So these were the best performing states. Similarly, if we come to 2021, so new states came into the picture. Here is Karnataka being the old state from these two places. Then came Telangana and Haryana. Haryana showed a major improvement in its rankings. Right? Now, नीति आयोग की बात करें तो नीति आयोग it releases rankings on the performance of aspirational districts every month. What are aspirational districts? Aspirational districts were the group of 112 most underdeveloped districts which were chosen from the country 4 years ago, and government का main focus was there for the development of these districts. Now if we talk about Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, so they have been ranking states on startups since 2018. तो ये एक डेवलपमेंट आई. अब इसमें होता क्या है? This exercise basically facilitates the states on the ease of building and startup and doing business. So startups जो हैं आपके निकल के आए entrepreneurship में, and the level of good environment they provide for ease of doing business so that better employment opportunities could be provided to the youth. ठीक है, तो इसको देखते हुए नीति आयोग forms a whole chart based on performance all over the year. Now Similarly, center also releases a business reform action plan जिसके अंडर the states are categorized as top achievers, achievers और aspirers. तीन आपके कैटेगरीज में दे आर डिवाइडेड, टॉप अचीवर्स, अचीवर्स एंड एस्पायरर्स. एंड ये जो पूरा स्ट्रक्चर है इट वाज फर्दर सीमेंटेड बाय, फर्दर सॉलिडिफाइड बाय योर जीएसटी. राइट नाउ अगर आप स्टेट्स के स्टार्टअप की रैंकिंग देखें, अगेन वी हैव दीज डेटा अवेलेबल फॉर 3 years, 2018, 2019 एंड 2021. 2020 के लिए डेटा क्यों नहीं है? Because due to COVID, the audits, the rankings could not be formed because there were states where their resources were diverted in something else altogether fighting the pandemic. Now 2018 में top performing state was Gujarat. Again 2019 में the top performing state was Gujarat. Also अगर आप देखो तो अंडमान एंड निकोबार Islands, they did an incredible job. Now similarly 2021 की बात करें, गुजरात again came at the forefront, then came Karnataka and then came मेघालय. अगर बेस्ट परफॉर्मर्स की बात करें, so 2018 में they were केरला, महाराष्ट्र, ओडिशा, तेलंगाना, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर. Despite the tough turbulent atmosphere is there in Jammu and Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir has shown promising results. The youth there is showing the willingness to participate in the ventures of whatever government is bringing plans up, right? Similarly 2019 में Karnataka and Kerala, they showed promising results, and 2021 में Karnataka, Kerala, Odisha and Rajasthan performed phenomenally, right? तो ये आप देखोगे स्टेट्स का जो स्टार्टअप रैंकिंग है, this has shown promising results. Similarly, if we see what are the benefits of competitive federalism, so ranking जो है states की, this basically depends upon various social sectors and इसका जो objective रहता है that is quantitative. The criteria it encourages them to improve their performances. Similarly, what it does, it helps them in fostering a culture of learning from best practices of each other. ठीक है, for example, if there is a certain pilot project which was started in Nagaland, ठीक है, and it does well there, similar sort of pattern could be implemented in all other northeast states or hilly region states because the model itself became successful. ठीक है, so this is how best practices they evolve. Similarly, this helps in improving business climate and hence globally अगर आप देखो तो it finds बेस्ट जो आपकी बिजनेस प्रैक्टिसेस होती हैं वो, एंड इट शोज दैट वी हैव अ वेलकमिंग कंड्यूसिव एनवायरनमेंट फॉर बिजनेसेस ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड टू कम एंड सेट अप देयर इंडस्ट्रीज इन द स्टेट which provides better employment opportunities in return, right? Now interdependence की बात करें, फेडरलिज्म तो है, states have their own role to play, central has their own role to play, but there is still a structure to it. So interdependence है both state and center की, but they still somehow work together. Now अगर आप constitution की बात करो तो how are things listed here? Now the size and composition of Rajya Sabha देखो, this is akin to that of Lok Sabha. Now similarly here it favors the larger states. Larger state का मतलब क्या है? More population, and hence there has to be more candidates from that particular state so that the voice of the people can be heard. Now अगर हम Article 3 की बात करें, so here union, the central government can alter the boundaries of a state without latter's consent. ये एक बहुत मेजर पॉइंट निकल के आता है. नाउ देयर इज अ प्रोविजन ऑफ इमरजेंसी पावर्स. आई होप आपने अपनी जीएस की क्लास में पढ़ा होगा व्हाट आर द इमरजेंसी पावर्स. नाउ देयर इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ कंकरेंट लिस्ट. ठीक है, कंकरेंट लिस्ट सब्जेक्ट्स है इन द 7th schedule वेयर सेंटर समवेयर हैज ओवरराइडिंग पावर ओवर स्टेट्स. होल सोल एब्सोल्यूट पावर नहीं है, बट सेंटर डज हैव ओवरराइडिंग पावर्स. नाउ अगर आप पूरे स्ट्रक्चर की बात करो तो इट इज इंडेस्ट्रक्टेबल. ठीक है, टूटने वाला नहीं है, बट एट द सेम टाइम इट इज फ्लेक्सिबल. नाउ if we talk about B.R. Ambedkar ji, so he called India's federation a union as it was indestructible. ठीक है, US वाला हिसाब नहीं है यहाँ पे. India is united in many ways possible, जैसा और states में नहीं होता है. Which is why there in the constitution there are no such words as federalism. Also, as per Ambedkar ji, the constitution still holds flexibility. अगर हम टाइप्स ऑफ फेडरलिज्म की बात करें, सो फर्स्ट आता है कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म. कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म का क्या एग्जांपल है? इफ एनी स्टेट वांट्स टू कम अप विद सर्टेन स्कीम, ठीक है, सेंटर डज नॉट इंटरफेयर इन इट. ऑल्सो सेंटर प्रोवाइड्स फुल सपोर्ट टू द स्टेट्स टू गो अहेड विद द स्कीम्स इफ they are seen as there are no hindrances to it. Also, if it totally works for the welfare of the people of the state. ठीक है, so this is where cooperative federalism comes into play. Now, competitive का मैं आपको बता चुकी हूँ. As per the rankings that are released by Niti Aayog, there is always a competition amongst the states to perform better. Basic limelight यही है कि their individual performances should improve and accordingly the living standards of the people who are suffering, उनके लिए betterment हो. ठीक है. Now अगर fiscal federalism की बात करें, the third type of federalism, that is amply clear on the directions of Finance Commission of India, which is under Article 280, right? I hope you have read about Finance Commission of India. अगर आपका polity component हो गया है, नहीं हुआ तो please do read about it in detail. This is one of the very minute factors जहाँ से differences आते हैं. ठीक है. Now, if we talk about what Supreme Court of India has said about federalism in India, Supreme Court has said that जो federalism है, it is the part of basic structure doctrine of Indian Constitution, and it was evident in your S.R. Bomai case versus Union of India case of 1994. Similarly, court also upheld that Indian variant of जो federalism है, it upholds a strong center in Kuldeep Nayyar versus Union of India case of 2016. So ये दो important case studies हैं. Prelims में how they are important? Prelims में there can be a one-liner directly आपको they can ask you the name of the case can be given and they can give you the options किससे related है, right? Also you can quote them while writing your essays and your answers. ठीक है? So they can help you in both ways. Similarly, if you talk about reason for a centralized federal structure in India, so there were a couple of reasons why we chose this sort of federal structure in India. पहला is partition of India and उसके बाद जो obvious concerns निकल के आए. What were the obvious concerns? There was a whole environment atmosphere of insecurity. ठीक है, people were not feeling safe. Also, there were a lot of princely states that signed instrument of accession. तो उस time everyone was a bit skeptical about how things are going to unfold. So center it actually took major strong holding power with itself. Now at that point of time, safeguarding the integrity of the nation was the main concern. Now similarly, helping India at that particular point of time, India was burdened with world wars. जितना भी खर्चा हुआ, ठीक है, Britishers they looted India on a whole different level altogether. तो वो सबको एड्रेस करने के लिए we had to help India come out of its social problems, and at that particular point of time a strong center was important. Similarly, there was an objective of building a welfare state. ठीक है, we were always the inclination of the leaders at that time had always been towards socialism, so we wanted to build a welfare state. Now there was a major thrust on elevation of inter-regional economic equality. ठीक है, the central states which are easily accessible, ठीक है, transportation जहाँ पे easily available है, also which were already developed by the princes of that time, they were at an advantage as compared to the hilly regions or the regions, for example, Lakshadweep and the union territories like Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar, because inaccessibility थी, also the inhabitants were tribals. ठीक है, so to basically bring them at par with each other, वहां पे सेंटर का स्ट्रांग होना बहुत जरूरी था. ऑल्सो इफ यू सी पास्ट में द कॉटन मिल इंडस्ट्री इन बॉम्बे, ऑल्सो द जूट मिल इंडस्ट्री इन बंगाल रीजन, they basically pushed for race to the bottom in rampant cost cutting practices. ठीक है, तो वहां से चीजें थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लमैटिक हो गई थी. नाउ इंडियाज मेंबरशिप सिमिलरली इन ILO, ठीक है, जो उस टाइम ऑल इंडिया कांग्रेस यूनियन बनी थी, दे पुश्ड फॉर द रिफॉर्म्स. ऑल्सो नेहरू रिपोर्ट की अगर हम बात करें ऑफ 1928 एंड बॉम्बे प्लान की बात करें ऑफ 1944, दे पुश्ड फॉर अ सेंट्रलाइज्ड सिस्टम to foster the social economic reforms at that particular point of time. Right? I hope ये वाला topic clear है. Now इस answer को आप लिखेंगे in your own words what you feel about it. जो basic points है that I've provided you with. Also please end your answer with what recommendations you can give to make जो पूरा structure है for it to function in a better manner. Let me see if there are any doubts, please. Okay. I hope there are no doubts in this topic. Let's move ahead to our second topic. So, our second topic for today is Smile 75 initiative. Now, Government of India, it actually has started implementing your Smile initiative. 75 मैंने आपको बता दिया कहाँ से आया. 75 came from आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव, the whole 75 years of independence thing that we are celebrating, 75 years of independence that we are celebrating. Now, SMILE की full form है support for marginalized individuals for livelihood and enterprise. And basically अगर आप देखो तो this falls in the category of your beggars and transgenders, but majorly यहाँ पे beggars की बात हो रही है. Now, ये scheme किसके अंडर आती है? It comes under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and इनका एम है to address persisting problems of destitution and beggary. Now 75 का again relevance कहाँ है? 75 identified municipal corporations in the spirit of आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव will undertake comprehensive rehabilitation drives. Basically किनके लिए? For the people who are engaged in the act of begging. Municipal corporations जो हैं they will cover comprehensive welfare schemes in the same spirit. Now अगर हम बात करें बेगरी की, बेगरी इन इंडिया, ठीक है, begging in India is a problem which is associated with poverty, unemployment, and it is a social problem becoming a huge problem. Problems of beggars क्या है हम आगे डिस्कस करेंगे in detail. Now legally अगर बात करें तो there are definitions of beggar which come under the Bombay Act. Bombay Act basically it defines beggar as anyone who has no visible means of subsistence and they wander about in any public place so as to make likely that person is doing so exist by soliciting or receiving alms. Alms का मतलब भिक्षा होता है, ठीक है. So basically जो Bombay Act है it defines आपका begging, also it criminalizes your begging. So बीच में थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे भी opposition आ रहा था Bombay Act के ऊपर, but we are going to discuss it some other day. Now begging की अगर आप बात करो under the acts जो receiving alms in public place है, ये it's not a compulsion but this has become a social construct. तो वहाँ पे काफी सारे inherent issues है. Let's see अभी begging के साथ क्या issues आते हैं. So beggars usually because they are living in poor and destitute condition, so they become the part of trafficking mafia. Trafficking यहाँ पे both human and sex trafficking की बात हो रही है. So they are captured and sold for their body organs in international market and they are sold into this sex line of work, illegal line of work. Basically young women, young girls, they fall prey to this line. Then they become a huge part of this drug abuse cartel. ठीक है, most of them they destroy their lives falling prey to drugs, different type of drugs, whether it is alcoholism, whether it is narcotics, anything of that sorts. Then they are always an economic burden on the government, also on the people who are there traveling on the roads. ठीक है, then they become a part of organized crime syndicates, basically acting as delivery boys and spies for crime syndicates, and in the crossfire many times they're caught in the crossfire and they die. Now they become a part of child related crimes, whether it is child abuse or kidnappings, etc., etc. Whatever there are the problems of child abuse, they become a part of that. Then they become a part of prostitution scandals, ठीक है. So वहाँ पे there it becomes a major issue. There is a constant abuse of public and tourists at public places, which becomes humiliating, and ultimately this impacts the tourism revenue of the country on a very large level. We just do not realize it, because for us, seeing beggars and how they behave, for us it might be normal, but for someone who is coming from abroad, they actually get very abnormally affected by this whole scenario. So वहाँ से चीज़ें थोड़ी सी impactful हो जाती हैं. Also they become a huge part of हवाला scam. If you have been ever into this Chandni Chowk area, वहाँ पे ना beggars, they act as messengers for this whole हवाला scam people. They have their suitcases ready there, and Chandni Chowk की जो छतें होंगी ना old shops की, they sit there as soon as there are cops, पुलिस आती है. So they carry the message to those suitcase people and then they run away. So बहुत सारे बार ना they actually are the ones who are caught by the police, and वहाँ पे they get tortured. Again parallel crime syndicate वहाँ से भी चलता है. So if you ever been to Chandni Chowk, if you know how हवाला works, so you will understand what I was talking about. ठीक है, ये चीज़ हो गई. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now अगर ऑब्जेक्टिव देखो इस स्कीम का, सो बेसिक ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? वी वॉन्ट टू मेक आवर सिटीज, टाउन्स एंड म्यूनिसिपल एरियाज बेगिंग फ्री. स्ट्रैटेजी बनाएंगे किसके लिए? फॉर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव रिहेबिलिटेशन. ऑल्सो जितने स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं इस पूरे केस में, उनके लिए चीज़ें बेटर हों. नाउ at the same time, what we want to do is we want to address the important role of urban local bodies, civil society groups, NGOs in this whole thing, so that ultimately the life of people could be made better. ठीक है, so Smile scheme has been implemented. Details इसकी बाकी सारी you can find in the PDF which will be shared with you just after the session is over, right? Now let's come to our third topic of today. Third topic है आपका निदान portal. Basically the निदान portal has been started for the narco offenders. It has become operational now. It has been developed by NIC. NIC is National Informatics Center. ठीक है, now develop इसको किसने करा है? Narcotics Control Bureau ने, NCB ने, and it is a major part of Narcotics Coordination Mechanism, NCORD. NCORD का part है NCORD portal का, which was basically launched in July 2022 under the Conference on Drug Trafficking and National Security. So this is the snippet that was released by PIB on Twitter. So एक बार देख लेते हैं. So it is developed by NIC, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, National Informatics Council. Now निदान की बात करें, निदान का फुल फॉर्म क्या है? National Integrated Database on Arrested Narco Offenders. This is the full form. Again, this is a part of Digital India Initiative. ठीक है, इस कॉन्फ्रेंस का पार्ट था ये, which happened on 22nd July, National Conference on Drug Trafficking and National Security. This came under Ministry of Home Affairs. ठीक है, Ministry of Home Affairs के अंडर आया. Now basically इसके की फीचर्स क्या हैं? की फीचर्स हैं, it is created in cooperation with ICJS. ICJS is Interoperable Criminal Justice System. ठीक है, so it is created in cooperation with ICJS by NCB, National Crime Bureau, and directions किसके थे? This was developed because it was directed by your Ministry of Home Affairs, right? Right. NIC is National Information Center, right? Now access it will be given to DLEAs. So जो drug की आपकी law enforcement agencies हैं, DLEA start for Drug Law Enforcement Agencies, उनको इसका access दिया जाएगा. This will be integrated with जो आपका NCORD portal है, as we have discussed, अर्लियर। सिमिलरली डिटेल्स जो अवेलेबल हैं, क्या क्या डिटेल्स अवेलेबल होंगी, द नेम ऑफ द ऑफेंडर विल बी अवेलेबल, फोटोग्राफ विल बी अवेलेबल, फिंगरप्रिंट्स विल बी अवेलेबल, ठीक है, बायोमेट्रिक्स बेसिकली जो है आपके, देन जुडिशियल एंड क्रिमिनल रिकॉर्ड जो हैं ऑफेंडर के वो अवेलेबल होंगे। सिमिलरली डाटा जो कंपाइल करा जाएगा, इट विल बी कंपाइल्ड फ्रॉम लॉ एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज के पास जितना डाटा है, ऑल्सो प्रेजेंस का रिकॉर्ड है अगर तो प्रेजेंट डेटा को भी इसमें इंक्लूड करा जाएगा। नाउ दिस विल ऑल्सो इंक्लूड योर प्रोक्लेम्ड ऑफेंडर्स डेटा ऑफ एनसीबी, ठीक है। सो इतना कुछ निदान पोर्टल के अंडर आया, इट हैज बिकम फंक्शनल एंड इट विल बी अ ह्यूज sigh of relief for agencies because there will be a concentrated data for all the agencies to use at one place, ठीक है। जितनी भी स्टेट की पुलिस है, even they can use the data. So someone who is an offender in Tamil Nadu, if he has run back to Himachal Pradesh, वहां की पुलिस के लिए coordination will become very easy, right? Now features की अगर आप बात करें तो it sources the data from ICJS, Interoperable Criminal Justice System, and ePrisons, which is a cloud-based application repository. Similarly, this will work in the accordance with CCTNS, जो है आपका Crime and Criminal Tracking Network. Now, ICJS की बात करो तो it is a initiative of Supreme Court E-Committee, जहाँ पे it was created to enable seamless transfer of data. Basically, जो information है amongst वेरियस जो आपकी बॉडीज हैं, लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसीज हैं, उनके लिए। सो व्हाट इज द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ दिस होल पोर्टल? इट इज अ वन स्टॉप सोल्यूशन फॉर जितने भी नार्कोटिक्स ऑफेंडर्स हैं उनके लिए, राइट। इट विल होस्ट द डेटा ऑफ जितने भी ड्रग एडिक्ट्स हैव बीन अरेस्टेड उनका, ठीक है। सिमिलरली इफ दे हैव बीन पनिश्ड, इफ दे हैव अ जेल रिकॉर्ड, वो आपको दिख जाएगा। एंड एनी एजेंसी can track the history of any person who has been an offender in any part of the state. ये मैंने आपको already explain कर दिया है, ठीक है। I hope निदान portal is clear to you. Now let's move ahead to your last topic of today. Last topic of today we are going to discuss Criminal Procedure Identification Act of 2022, ठीक है। तो क्या है, why this was in news? This was in news recently because recently government has passed जो आइडेंटिफिकेशन एक्ट है ऑफ 2022 एंड दिस विल रिपील द एग्जिस्टिंग आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ प्रिजनर्स एक्ट ऑफ 1920, ठीक है। नाउ 1920 एज एविडेंट ये ब्रिटिशर्स के टाइम पे चल रहा था एंड देयर वर सम लूप होल्स, सम अपग्रेडेशंस दैट हैड टू बी मेड, इसलिए इसका अमेंडमेंट एक्ट लेके आया गया। नाउ दिस न्यू लॉ, दिस बेसिकली अलाउज जो इन्वेस्टिगेटर्स हैं टू कलेक्ट सर्टेन identifiable information of convicts and other persons, basically आपका identification के लिए in investigations of criminal matters. There was a very good article in Hindu again about it, ठीक है। This is the difference between what earlier provisions were and what current provisions are. ये tabular form में है, so if you want you can go through it when you receive the PDF, ठीक है। I have explained the same differences in the slides ahead, तो एक बार वो देख लेंगे। Maybe it's not legible right now, but you can see it in the PDF. Now key provisions की बात करो, इस वाले एक्ट में क्या है, तो this law it provides a legal sanction to the police to take physical and biological samples of convicts. Physical sample में क्या हो गया आपका biometric data, biological samples में क्या हो गया, if for example if the person is a rape convict, तो वहां पे जो biological samples आते हैं, whether it's your blood, whether it's your semen, whether it's your spit, पुलिस वो भी कलेक्ट कर सकती है to keep a track of if you are a continuous offender, ठीक है। नाउ पुलिस इस केस में क्या क्या कलेक्ट कर सकती है, फिंगरप्रिंट्स, palm prints and footprints, similarly your photos, iris and retina scan, analysis of physical and biological samples as I already told you, your behavioral attributes, जो आपका psycho analysis होगा वो किया जाएगा, your signature and your handwriting for calligraphy purposes, ठीक है। calligraphy interpretation जो होती है उसके purposes के लिए even your handwriting can be collected. Now measurements and photographs जो है for identification, इनकी 3 purposes हैं, to establish the identity of the culprit, ठीक है, then to identify the suspected रिपीटेशन ऑफ सिमिलर ऑफेंस, ठीक है। इफ इट इज अ पैथोलॉजिकल साइकोलॉजिकल बिहेवियर, उसको आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए, ऑल्सो टू एस्टैब्लिश अ प्रीवियस कन्विक्शन। इन चीजों के लिए ये जो फोटोग्राफ्स हैं दीज आर नेसेसरी। ऑल्सो ये एक्ट जो है दिस सीक्स टू अप्लाई टू अ पर्सन विच हैज बीन डिटेन्ड अंडर अ प्रीवियस एनी डिटेंशन लॉ। सिमिलरली अगर यहाँ पे बात करें रोल ऑफ एनसीआरबी की, नेशनल क्राइम रिकॉर्ड्स ब्यूरो की, तो दिस लॉ इट एक्चुअली एम्पावर्स योर नेशनल क्राइम रिकॉर्ड्स ब्यूरो टू स्टोर, प्रिजर्व, शेयर विथ एनी लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसी जो उनके पास ये डेटा कलेक्टेड है वो। नाउ ये रिकॉर्ड्स जो है दिस कैन बी स्टोर्ड अप टू द पीरियड ऑफ 75 ईयर्स। नाउ लॉ तो ये पास हो गया, बट देयर आर सर्टेन कंसर्न्स दैट हैव कम अप रिगार्डिंग दिस लॉ। नाउ chief concern is this is in direct conflict with the right to privacy, which is said to be, as Honorable Supreme Court of India has said, it is your fundamental right. Puttaswamy judgment की बात करें हम, so in Puttaswamy judgment, now for a privacy intrusive measure to be constitutional, यहाँ पे 3 needs आती हैं। 3 नीड्स कौन कौन सी हैं? अ मेजर टू बी टेकन इन परसुएंस ऑफ अ लेजिटिमेट एम ऑफ द स्टेट, ठीक है। जो भी स्टेट आपके पास से डेटा कलेक्ट कर रहा है उसका लेजिटिमेट रीजन होना चाहिए स्टेट के पास। दूसरा, दिस हैज टू बी बैक्ड बाय अ लॉ, दिस शुड नॉट गो अगेंस्ट द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्राइन ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। ऑल्सो दिस शुड बी नेसेसरी एंड प्रोपोर्शनेट, जो रीजन स्टेट करा जा रहा है उसके अकॉर्डेंस में दिस शुड बी नेसेसरी एंड अप्रोप्रिएट। सिमिलरली प्रिवेंटिव इन्वेस्टिगेशन जो क्राइम है उसका लेजिटिमेट एम होना चाहिए स्टेट के पास। नाउ द सैटिस्फैक्शन ऑफ द थर्ड टेस्ट ऑफ नेसेसिटी एंड प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी हैज बीन चैलेंज्ड ऑन मल्टीपल काउंट्स, बट गोइंग बियॉन्ड द कलेक्टिंग मेजर्स की अगर हम बात करें, सो एनालिसिस एंड बिहेवियरल एट्रीब्यूट्स दे हैव रेज्ड कंसर्न्स कि डेटा प्रोसेसिंग जितनी भी इसको लेके हो रही है दैट मे गो बियॉन्ड मेजरमेंट्स एंड दिस माइट लीड इनटू अ प्रेडिक्टिव पुलिसिंग। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का जो रोल आ जाता है उसको लेके इट इज सेड दैट दिस माइट लीड टू प्रेडिक्टिव पुलिसिंग एंड अल्टीमेटली दिस माइट लीड टू गवर्नमेंट forming policies or acting in such a way that it might actually hamper with the freedom that people have just to live their lives and so on and so forth. Now there has been a fear of mass surveillance जो database create कराया जा रहा है under CCTNS, उसको जो पूरी उसकी authority है that has been put into question. Now there have been a couple of concerns about right against self incrimination which comes under article 20 का जो third part है of Constitution of India, but somewhere if we see this whole concern is null and void because in the case of Bombay versus Kathi Kalu Ogad, Supreme Court held that non-communicative जो evidence है, that means जो evidence है which does not convey information within the personal knowledge of the accused, this cannot be understood and deemed as self incriminating evidence, ठीक है। सो अगर आप ये पूरी चीज देखो तो ये वाला पॉइंट यहाँ पे नल एंड वाइड हो जाता है, बट मास सर्वेलेंस एंड राइट टू प्राइवेसी के जो इश्यूज है दैट आर वेरी मच देयर। नाउ इफ यू सी व्हाट इज द वे फॉरवर्ड, सो बेसिकली गवर्नमेंट वांट्स अ सेफगार्ड अगेंस्ट द मिसयूज। गवर्नमेंट हैज अश्योर्ड जो रूल्स हैं उसके अगेंस्ट इस पूरी चीज का यूज ना हो, ठीक है। आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ जो डेटाबेस है दिस मस्ट नॉट बी यूज एज अ वेपन अगेंस्ट पीपल। बायोलॉजिकल सैंपल्स का जो डेटाबेस है इसकी अकाउंटेबिलिटी क्या है, कंसिडरिंग इंडिया की साइबर सिक्योरिटी इज नॉट दैट स्ट्रॉन्ग इन इटसेल्फ। आधार से रिलेटेड ही इतने इश्यूज आए हुए हैं, तो कंसिडरिंग दैट मेकिंग अ होल न्यू डेटाबेस जहां पे there is a list of people altogether, this could be used for other purposes, negative purposes altogether. So this has come up as a major issue जिसको एड्रेस करना बहुत जरूरी हो जाता है। नीड क्या है? We need to strengthen our criminal procedure and यहाँ पे criminal procedure जो है वो हमें ये देखना पड़ेगा that the conviction rates they have to be increased. If there can be a few recommendations in this whole process. We need to use scientific methods to prevent and detect crime. Similarly, necessary training must be imparted to the investigating officers यहाँ पे, and it should be ensured जो आपकी right to privacy का है, this should be maintained at any cost, but not at the cost of your national security. तो वहाँ पे we need to draw a proper balance there so that जो लोगों की राइट है वो भी इन्फ्रिंज ना हो, ऑल्सो देयर इज नो मोर हैम्परिंग विद द होल जस्टिस सिस्टम जो इंडिया में चल रहा है, स्मूथ फंक्शनिंग हो, ऑल्सो लोगों को कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो, राइट. सो दिस कंक्लूड्स योर ऑल 4 टॉपिक्स ऑफ टुडे. आई होप जितना हमने डिस्कस करा है वो आपको क्लियर है. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट्स यू कैन मेंशन देम इन कमेंट्स. आई ट्राई टेकिंग देम अप इन नेक्स्ट क्लास. टिल देन, स्टे ट्यून्ड इन, कीप लर्निंग, कीप वॉचिंग. Thank you so much. Bye bye.